finally getting into our own. Give me respect. Make it at night. No fake it, we just take it.
What's good with it, yo? It's your boy Santo G. Back at it, you already know. Spreading unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, if you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell. It don't cost you nothing, and it will help out this channel. They also got a new hype button where you can hype up this video, and it pretty much just lets YouTube know that not only do you like it, but you really want to hype it up and recommend it to other people. So do me that favor, hit that like and hit that hype button. That way this channel could get recommended to more viewers, and we could try to hit that 100K before the end of the year, man. So today I wanted to continue with Santo G with my life story. I ended it off with them raiding my pad, brought the witnesses, everything, and they all said no. They all said no. They were like, nah, that's not him. Man, I still remember this like it was yesterday. I was on Stepney Block in the front porch. I remember they're raiding the pad. At the time, I believe they were waiting. They were waiting to get the warrants to raid the inside. So they had us all outside of the house waiting in the front. They were watching the back, both sides, had the fucking street locked down. I remember like it was yesterday, man. I was still 16 years old, you feel me? 16 years old. I grew up on that block since I was yay high. So everybody knew me. I could literally go to any door on that block, knock on the door, and they knew me by name. They knew me by name, and I bet you anything they would feed me, give me drinks, whatever I wanted. Like as far as like if I was thirsty, wanted some water or something like that, you feel me? Or even if I was being chased, hey, I'm getting chased, woo. Hey, come inside, don't trip. And they'll go out there and confront the people type stuff, you feel me? So I remember we're right there waiting, everybody's passing by, just looking like, what the hell's going on, you feel me? They're like, damn. I remember at the time, I ain't gonna lie, I felt kind of, had my chest out, felt all cool and shit, you know what I mean? Stupid, you know what I mean? Embarrassing my family, embarrassing my parents, embarrassing the people who own that property, you feel me? Like, I apologize, you know what I mean? Concha, my mom, you know what I mean? I apologize, you know what I mean? For having your pad raided. Like, that shit wasn't cool, you know what I mean? That shit wasn't like, at the time I was young, so I ain't gonna lie, man. I felt cool. I was right there like, I was shitting it though. I remember they went and got Astros. My mom went and got Astro burgers. And I remember this like it was just yesterday, man. I'm on the porch. Big Saint's next to me, right? And he's eating. He's all like, fool, you better eat your burger, my boy. I'm like, what? He's like, you better eat your burger, fool. He's all like, you better eat it like that's your last meal. Like, you never know. You know what I mean? He was expecting for them to take me. You feel me? Because as soon as I got there that day, after everything had happened, he was just waking up. And I remember as soon as I got home, I kind of told him a little something, you feel me? To the point where he knew what was up. He knew that we weren't just hitting the pad for nothing. So he's like, you better eat that shit like it's your last burger, bro. You feel me? I remember forcing myself to eat it. I couldn't even eat, bro. I was sick to my stomach. You know, you just did something and they raiding your pad, and man, I was sick to my stomach. I ain't gonna lie, when they left, cause they raided the pad and all that, and they found the strap in the backyard. Like I said, in the backyard, there was a garage. It was, you go to the back, it's two garages. It was a garage, and then there used to be like a driveway, like a walkway around the house. So on this side, we ended up, me and my stepdad, shout out Josue, rest in peace, you know what I mean? He ended up passing away too, and he ended up passing away in the street. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, man, I done been through some stuff. Like, y'all don't even know. Talking about, this was my mom's husband for years. It's my little sister's dad, you feel me? And he was my stepdad. Like, he was with my mom since I was born, you feel me? But we never developed that bond. Like, he was from El Salvador and he was more like listen to bachata, more paisa, you feel me? And I was over here trying to gangbang. Like, that's what they kind of like despise, you know? So we never really clicked. But long story short, so me and him, I'm trying to remember, like, why did I bring him up? You know what I mean? So me and him, we ended up building like on the side. We ended up getting wood. We ended up building like a whole nother little garage with a door and everything. So we built it to store some of his stuff, and it was so deep into the back that half of it was storage for him, and the other half I threw chairs in there. And we would just chill in there. Like, we would go in the cut, just chill in there, blaze, and you know what I mean? That was the spot. So that's where they ended up finding the strap at. So, boom, they found it outside. Like I said, they found it outside. The witnesses they brought at the time, this was before they had talked to the victim because he was still in surgery. And before they had talked to 2 other witnesses, I don't know if they were at work or what. You feel me? So at that point in time, witnesses they had on the scene, they said it wasn't me. They only pointed out the homie Necio and the other fool. So they raided my pad, found the gun in the back, and they took off. They hit the house. But this is crazy, and this is one of those, hey, if I'm lying, I'm dying, straight up. So they hit the whole pad. We go inside. We're like, damn, they made a mess of everything, right? So we go inside to my carnal's room, because at that time, like I said, my carnal, once he got a little bit older, and once he had my nephew, I said my nephew was like 1 at the time. Once he had my nephew, he started focusing more on his feria and less on like gangbanging and stuff like that. You feel me? So he had some bud and a scale inside a hoodie. Soon as you walk in the room, right, the hoodie's on the floor. Bud and scale still inside the hoodie pocket. Like, literally, as soon as you walk in, there was like a high dresser. Soon as you walk in, there was a little, I don't know if it was a deuce 5 or a little 32. Little strap on the top. Literally, as soon as you walk in and look, it was right there. They left that. They left the bud and scale. They were so happy that they found the burner outside. And then as soon as they walk in, this is another thing. Like, because I slept in the living room of the house. So as soon as you walk in, there's a closet. And in that closet, I had a shotgun that the homie Malo and the homie, the homie Manny and Malo, they had just pieced up and got a shotty, but they couldn't hold it at their pad, so I was holding it for them. So as soon as you walk in, that shotty was wrapped up in a blanket, and then there was a briefcase, like one of them briefcases that you get with like poker chips and the cards, the poker deck and stuff. There was a briefcase, and there was all kinds of different boxes that had like a 38 box of rounds, a 9 box of rounds, like 22, 25. I had a few different boxes of rounds. Soon as you walk in, so they got so happy with what they found in that closet and then the strap they found outside, that the rest they kind of like Mickey Moused it. Because they literally left the strap, left some bud, a scale. At that point in time, it wasn't like it is now. Bud was a big deal back then. I remember we were walking from the pad on Stepney to across the street. We were going to go to the back of the apartments to just go blaze. My canal had a blunt in his ear. And I remember they pulled us over. The one time, you know what I mean, gang unit pulled us over, hemmed us up, took his blunt. I remember they gave him a citation for that. They actually ended up, like I said, they let me go. Boom. That happens. They let me go. We go inside. Like, boom. We see all that. I ended up going for the washer machine. Because the clothes, the hoodie, the pants, everything that I used, I threw it in the washer to get washed. So that's my first thing. I'm like, oh, go. It's still there. I end up getting it, throw it away. I end up going to my grandma's house, which is literally down the block. I lived on Stepney and Centinela. Down here is Marlboro. my grandma lived on pretty much Stepney and Marlboro, the next block over Stepney still, you know what I mean? So I don't know what I was thinking, like I'm literally right down the block. So that ends up happening. They let me go, I want to say a week. A week goes by, I'm sleeping at my grandma's house, and I just hear knock on the door, boom, 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 early in the morning, boom, 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 boom. And my Uncle Chico, rest in peace, man. Shout out my Uncle Chico, rest in peace. He actually ended up passing away on the street as well, man. That's what I'm saying, like, man, it's crazy. My stepdad ended up passing away on the street. His body was so badly decomposed that it took months for them to realize who he was, and my mom got notified in a letter, because you know what I mean, that they ended up getting divorced. He was staying on the street, struggling, you feel me, alcoholic, and ended up passing away like that. My Uncle Chico, the same thing. He passed away drinking on the street. They found him literally on the sidewalk with a water bottle and a vodka bottle out. Like, I don't know, it was natural causes, OD, you feel me? Like, just a trip though, but rest in peace, my Uncle Chico. So my Uncle Chico opens the door. Boom. As soon as he opens the door, I just hear him say, Yola, what the fuck? Walks back, sits down, just mad, like, I'm laying down, looking up, like, wiping lagañas off my face and shit, like, what the fuck is going on? Chico, what's up? And I just hear, Angel, come out. Angel, come out. My jefita. What? Angel, come out. Like, don't make a scene, just come out. Like, what? So I go to the door and IPD's right there, like, come on. Come on. Boom, handcuff me. And I'm looking at my jefita like, what the fuck? Like, Mons. Chico too, he's like, Yolanda, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, he knew I was staying there, because in case they raided my house, you feel me, I had time to run. So he like, what the fuck? Like, why you bring her? Like, why you bring them, you know? So they, you know, like, moms were just trying to do the right thing, you feel me? Like, I'm wanted for an attempted murder case, you feel me? I'm considered armed and dangerous, so she's like, man, I'd rather turn you in, and that way I know. She don't know, you feel me? She don't know if her son got a burner and gonna start shooting out with the cops, you feel me? Like, I'm young and dumb at the time, you feel me? I didn't even know that's how my jefita thought of me, you know? Like, I was mad at the time, but now looking back on it, like, man, she was just trying to do what was best for her son, you feel me? So I could make it out of that alive, you know? So, boom, they get me. They put me in the back of the cop car, and I see Big Saint right there. I just look at him, I'm like, fuck. First thing he tells me, man, hey, I love you, bro. First thing he tells me is, hey, fool, shut up, dog. Don't say nothing, homie. He's like, point it up. I look up, and then we see the red light flashing. We're being recorded. He's like, don't say nothing. Ooh. Just right there, I'm like, man, what happened, fool? He's like, man, my warrants. He's like, they raided the pad again, and they got me because of the warrants, you know? And I felt bad, bro. I felt bad, like, straight up. Because that day, this is why I wanted to touch on this story specifically. That day, right? Boom, I get in the car, Big Saint's right there. We go to the police station. As soon as we hit the police station, we separate. He ends up going to the county. He does like a week or two, clears his warrants. Because he had like a few different pending warrants, like driving without a license, that one for getting caught with the blunt. He had a few different cases that he was like running from. So he just ended up going to court, and he did time served and like community service and stuff. So, boom, I go to the police station. They put me in their interrogating room. That's the first time they questioned me. On site, when they raided my house the first time, I never got questioned. I mean, they came like, ooh, I'm like, man, I don't know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. You feel me? Like, straight up. So, boom. They bring me in, they question me. Hey, whoop, 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 this, and that. Like, man, hey, look. The fool that told, I'm like, man, hey, I know him because his people, like his dad, his mom, they knew my grandma and my jefita from Zacatecas, from Mexico. Straight up. They knew each other from over there. So I'm like, man, I know him because our family know each other since over there. You feel me? Like, But you know what I mean? Like that's it. They started questioning me about the homie Necio. Like, man, I know him from passing, like in passing, you know what I mean? But I don't know him like on a one-on-one basis, nothing like that. You feel me? Like, so what were you doing that day, man? Look, that day I just woke up, straight up. I woke up, got on MySpace, got on LimeWire, started burning some CDs, and I ended up going and taking the shit. As I was taking the shit, that's when you guys came and started knocking on the door or some shit like that. I remember something about taking the shit and whatever, right? Boom, boom, boom. I just remember cops come to my door. You guys are raiding my pad now. Woo, why? You feel me? Boom. Held it down. Denied everything. Not once did I admit to anything. That's why I said my lawyer, he told me himself, like, man, your interrogation video, you did beautifully. Like, straight up. He's like, you don't know how many people implicate themselves. No matter what they say, oh, this person said this. This person said that. Because they told me, like, oh, this person, the fool that told, straight up, they told me, like, hey, this fool said this, and that. But me personally, you know, we're top. They're going to tell you your homeboy told on you. They're going to tell you the worst. Just to get you to flip on them. So that's what I thought. Like, oh, man, nah. You're tripping. You feel me? Like, nah. Denied everything. So the only thing they were able to do is they took my DNA and they processed me. They had booked me in for it. They booked me in for the attempted murder and all that, but they didn't have enough evidence to hold me. So they booked me in and they took my DNA and they're like, look, we have DNA on the gun. So if your DNA comes back on that gun, that's all we need. Right now, just that fool telling, and I don't know if at that time the witness still wasn't like the victim still wasn't talking yet, or no, actually the victim had already pointed me out. The victim had pointed me out, them two females had pointed me out, but they didn't have, I guess that wasn't enough. So, I'll never forget this feeling, bro. I'm going, I see a glass window. After their interrogation, right? Literally, after the interrogation, I'm walking, I see a glass window and I see my jefita. I see my mom. They open it, they're unhandcuffing me, and then boom, got one. Boom. They're about to undo the other one. They're like, nah, hold on. We still need to process them. Like, what? They're like, we still need to process them. Like, come on. Go process. That's when they take the mugshot. Boom. They do all that and then they release me to my mom. Boom. They release me to my mom. I just remember the ride home. I'm telling my mom, like, hey, look, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You feel me? Like, I did this. Like, what they're accusing me of, I did this. She like, what? I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? I told her that we were driving by. We seen homeboy banged on each other and that it looked like he was gonna pull out, so I just let him have it. You feel me? That was the only way I could explain it to her. I wasn't gonna tell her, oh, we parked, I waited for homeboy, you know, and pretty much went and did what I did, you know? That was the best way I could put it to her, like kind of put it in a way where I was like, man, I felt my life in danger, so I did this. I couldn't tell her, oh, I did it out of revenge because they just killed somebody, you feel me? So, boom. That ends up happening. They let me go. I'm still out there. You feel me? I'm still out there. A few months go by. I'm living in West LA at the time. The dude that told on me is still hanging around. He ended up bailing out. His parents put their house up for bail. He ended up bailing out. You feel me? So he's still chilling. The homie Necio ends up calling. I remember we at the hood meeting. Y'all trip on this. We had a hood meeting. Homeboy just dropped me off. Literally, the fool that told on me just dropped me off. He's like, hey, I'm going to drop you off and I'm going to go do something, come back. I don't know why he didn't want to walk in. I think he kind of sensed it. He knew. You feel me? He was scared. He didn't want to walk into the lion's den. Like, you just told, you're telling, and you walk, you know what I mean? So, long story short, he drops me off. Boom, walk in. And the homie Casper tells me, like, hey, I just talked to Necio. He's all like, he told me this specifically. He's all like, dile al smoke que se pele vacas porque el wood es rata. Like, what? He's all like, yeah. He's all like, he's saying to tell you, fool, to bounce, homie, because that fool's telling, dog. And as the homie's telling me this, homeboy walks up. And like I said, that was like my brother, you feel me? That was my dog. Like, that was the biggest betrayal ever. Like, that's why, like, I'm so wary about trusting anybody and being like road dog and buddy with anybody. That's why you hardly see me with a lot of people, or because it's hard to trust now. Like, that was my brother. I learned how to drive with him, you feel me? Like, straight up. And he pulls up. Whoa, be looking at him. Whoa, they start questioning. I'm like, nah, chill. Like, I ended up calming the homies down and took off with him. He drops me off in West LA, right? I want to say like a couple days later, I get picked up walking in the hood. You feel me? If you guys haven't seen that story, you guys haven't seen that video, I'm gonna put the screenshot right here. I tell the story about the day when I got picked up, man. But yeah, man, cold. It's cold, you know what I mean? It's cold out there, man. That's why I say, everybody, worry about yourself, worry about your family, worry about your loved ones, worry about stacking that paper, man, because at the end of the day, man, that's all that matters, is you elevating in life, you focusing on your future, and let's just get it, man. I'm gonna end it off here, and I'll pick it up with them coming, getting me, and all that on the next one. I hope you guys are enjoying this series right here. I'm gonna keep it going, and then we're gonna get into all the juicy stuff as far as the juvenile hall war stories, prison gladiator war stories, so on and so forth, man. Let's get it.
We got all pretty good. Strong, vale getting into our own,